Hey everyone, welcome back to Match B2B Insights, B2B Influence Uncovered. I'm Brenda, and with me is Benny Fluman. Today, we're digging into why influencer marketing isn't just for giant brands or beauty bloggers, but actually, it's become a backbone strategy for smaller B2B companies. You're not trying to go viral with a meme. You need credibility and doors opened in places like London, Berlin, maybe even Singapore or New York, right?
Exactly. Brenda, everybody thinks influencer marketing is about, I don't know, some TikTok dancer or whatnot. But especially in B2B, it's really about those industry experts, the analysts, the consultants, the people who actually move the needle with buyers. The stats back it up. Surveys show roughly 3 out of 4 B2B marketers are already working with influencers. And more than 80% of buyers say they trust expert content before engaging with the sales team. Let's face it, nobody trusts a cold email anymore. They want to hear from someone they already respect.
Absolutely. I'll tell you, I've seen this in action. There was an Israeli SaaS founder I worked with, a small team, tight budget. One joint webinar with a legit analyst in the UK, and suddenly they were getting demo meetings they'd never land cold. The trust thing, boom, transferred instantly. And that's the impact of real, not performative, influence. You skip the whole proving yourself dance and just start conversations that matter.
That's the gold right there, Brenda. Trust can't be bought, but it can be borrowed if you do it the right way.
So before anyone even thinks about writing a DM on LinkedIn, you've got to start with what you actually want. This is where a lot of small companies get lost. They reach out to influencers with vague, let's partner pitches, but have no measurable goal. What's the finish line? 200 webinar signups? 10 SQLs? Awareness in a German market? Benny, you ever seen someone chase likes instead of results?
All the time, Brenda. My cousin, he runs a medtech startup. He once told me, Benny, we did a campaign. We got 2,000 likes. I said, that's nice. But did you get one actual sales call from it? If you don't define real business targets, you're just busy. You're not progressing. It's got to tie back to sales, pipeline, demo requests. Something your board cares about, not ego metrics.
Totally. I've had clients who wanted the most precise goals possible. Like, this campaign needs to generate at least 10 SQLs from mid-market UK firms. And honestly, it makes everything easier. Is there a point where it's too precise, Benny?
Sure, you don't want to paralyze yourself with overspecification, but clarity beats confusion every day. Pipeline targets, even if rough, keep everyone accountable. Now, here's where most folks, especially if they're new, get tripped up. They look for the influencer with the biggest audience, but that's not where the magic is. You want relevance. Ask, does this person move discussions among my actual buyers or just random fans?
Exactly, Benny. It's not about who has the fanciest LinkedIn badge. It's who your buyers already trust. Tools like LinkedIn Search, niche communities, Upfluence, Analytica, or even looking at your own employees as potential mini-influencers. And you gotta dig into who's following them. Are those real decision makers? Or is everyone just liking for the sake of it?
I have to laugh, Brenda. My nephew asked me, should I partner with this guy? He's got 100,000 followers. I told him, if none of them are HVAC buyers, who cares? Go after the people with clout where it counts. Awareness in your echo chamber does nothing if prospects don't bite.
That's the truth. Influence in B2B is about who you actually persuade, not just who sees your name scroll by. Let's talk about actually making contact. The copy-paste pitch, just no, don't do it. Influencers get generic scripts all day. What stands out is when someone references their podcast, their research, something real. It signals you get their world. You'd be amazed how simply being authentic jumps you to the top of their inbox.
Spot on. And look, as much as you want something from them, give something back. Maybe it's visibility, or an intro to your investors, or yes, some clear compensation. But if you approach like, hey, Help me for free? Forget it. Give value, get value. That's just business basics, right?
And build on it. Start slow, respond to their posts, show up. If you build that connection ahead of your ask, you're so much more likely to get a yes.
Think of it like dating, not an email blast. Real relationships win every time.
So once you've got their attention, the next big step, co-create the actual campaign. Sit down together. Is a webinar best? Maybe LinkedIn posts, a white paper, even just a video interview. Whatever fits both your markets.
And here's where it counts. Define together how you'll measure if it worked. Are we tracking webinar signups, demo requests, MQLs via CRM and UTM links, comments from real prospects? Don't get lost in endless back and forth. Write a simple contract, MOU, whatever you want to call it. Timeline, deliverables, KPIs. It protects both of you.
Some founders get caught in the spiral. No clear agreement, a million revisions. It's not needed. Cover the essentials and move on. You can refine as you go. Here's where our startup friends tend to overcommit. Start with a micro pilot. 1 webinar, maybe 2 posts. Measure for 4 to 6 weeks. You don't need a 6-month retainer just to get a sense of fit. If your KPI is 20 signups and you get 5, well, time to revisit what's off.
Yeah, my client did exactly that. They shot for 20 signups at a niche security webinar. Got 5. Ouch. But they didn't just quit, Brenda. They analyzed. Was it the topic, timing, the channel? Pivoted, and the next session blew through the target. The lesson? Don't fall into the sunk cost trap. Pilot, measure, adjust. Or just walk away if it's not clicking.
There's freedom in small bets. It lets you experiment, learn fast, and avoid wasting your whole quarter's marketing budget on a flop.
All right, let's talk money. This is where small companies get nervous. Do I need a big agency budget? Absolutely not. A typical LinkedIn post from a micro-influencer, that's $500 to $1,500. A co-hosted webinar, maybe $1,500 to $3,000. High-end report or white paper, $3,000 to $7,000. You don't need $50K to play this game.
And the pricing models are evolving, right, Benny? There's flat fee, sure, but there's also performance-based pay, like cost per lead, or even revenue share. Especially for cash-strapped startups, offering a small upfront plus a cut of the sales can get a talented micro-influencer on board. You ever done a deal like that?
I did. Negotiated a campaign for a SaaS platform. We went tiny upfront, heavy on revenue share. The influencer hustled because their interest was tied to our success. When your budgets are tight, creativity counts more than raw cash.
Now, let's say your campaign hits. Don't let that content sit idle. Repurpose it. Squeeze every drop out. Turn long webinars into short LinkedIn clips. Break a white paper into blog posts. Slice videos for sales emails. Drop pieces into product decks. It stretches your investment and amplifies your reach without extra fees.
And video, Brenda? Video is king right now. You can reuse those clips for months. Even better, interactive formats like quizzes or live Q&A. That's what's really engaging the B2B crowd. Take GetAccept, a SaaS platform for sales enablement. They turned one co-hosted webinar into multiple LinkedIn posts, blog articles, and even sales snippets, stretching their budget much further. Creativity is your multiplier.
I've seen startups record one roundtable and spin a whole quarter's campaign out of it. It's just about being intentional in how you package and share. Back to those goals. When you're reporting to your CEO or your board, likes or views are just noise. Analytics are table stakes from day one. Track what matters. Actual leads in your CRM. Conversion rates at each funnel stage. Pipeline contribution. And real audience growth. If you nail that, you get budget again next time.
And you don't need a fancy dashboard, Brenda. An Excel sheet and well-placed UTM links get you a long way. Pipeline and revenue. That's what matters. A good influencer campaign should push actual prospects toward your sales team, not just rack up LinkedIn impressions.
Real talk. It's about measuring business impact, not popularity. And if you bake measurement in from the start, you avoid a lot of disappointment later. Who actually did this and what happened? All right, let's close today with some real stories, the case studies. Because theory is nice, but CEOs of small companies want to know.
Exactly. Let's start local. One Israeli SaaS company we worked with, tiny team, almost no marketing budget, partnered with a respected cybersecurity consultant on LinkedIn in the UK. They didn't pay crazy money, just a modest speaking fee. One webinar later, their pipeline grew by 40% in under a year. Why? Because the consultant was trusted, and that trust transferred instantly.
And it's not just Israel. A European medtech SMB co-hosted a neutral webinar with a well-known German doctor. No hard sell, just education. That single event got them introductions to American clinics that had ignored their cold emails for months.
Oh, and let's not forget the US side, GetAccept, a SaaS platform for sales enablement. They worked with micro-influencers like Justin Michael on LinkedIn. Instead of huge ad spend, they paid around $1,500 for a few posts and a co-branded session. Result? Qualified demo requests doubled in 1 quarter.
Even Wiz, back in their early days, leaned heavily on LinkedIn thought leadership. Executives like Asaf Rappaport were basically influencers for their own company, publishing insights, not ads. That built global awareness before they had the resources for big campaigns.
The pattern is clear. SMBs win by working with niche experts, micro-influencers, and even their own employees. Budgets are modest, $500 to $3,000 per post or webinar. But the ROI is huge if you track the right metrics. It's not about reach, it's about relevance.
So, the lesson for small B2B companies? Don't wait until you're big. Influencer marketing works at your size, maybe even better, because you're more nimble and authentic. Start small, pick one credible voice, run a pilot, and measure it against real business KPIs. If it works, scale. If not, pivot.
At the end of the day, the right trusted voice can open doors money never could.
Beautifully said, Benny. And that's a perfect note to wrap on. This has been Match B2B Insights, B2B Influence Uncovered. We hope today gave you some practical tools, some stories, and the confidence to start building your own influence strategy.
Thanks for joining us, everyone. Take what you've heard, try it, measure it, and don't be afraid to start small. Every big win begins with that first smart step.
We'll be back soon with the next episode. Until then, good luck with all your outreach, all your campaigns. And remember, in B2B, it's not about noise. It's about trust.
Couldn't agree more. Bye, everyone, and see you next time on Match B2B Insights.